Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy. And today I want to talk about another of the fleet commanders, and that is Locutus. Not only because I haven't talked about him yet, but also because I finally just got him. So it's a little bit more fun for me to talk about him when I finally had the chance to get him. How you can get him as well, I will tell you later in the video. But first, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet, but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel. When you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. But let's take a look at Locutus. He's one of the fleet commanders. If you are in the earlier levels, you will probably have Kirk or Spock. And if you invested a little bit, you might have Janeway or 7 of 9 as well, or Locutus. But Locutus I completely got for free in this game. But before I tell you how to get him, I just want to talk about what he can do. He's like the other fleet commanders with 3 different skill trees. He's a combatant, he's an admiral, and he's mechanic. And that means that he has different bonuses for you when you use him. You know that you have different slots. I talked about the commanders in general. At the moment I'm still using Kirk and Spock, but in certain cases and after upgrading I will use Locutus. So let's have a look at upgrading Locutus first, because he's using the same materials, the Commander XP and the uncommon fleet commander credits as Kirk and Spock. So he's different than the newest, that's Sloan, that you can get via the Section 31 faction store, and you need the upgrade material for Sloan from that faction store as well. But Locutus uses the same as Kirk and Spock, and you get it via events, via refineries, etc., like all the others. And that's what you use to upgrade him. To upgrade him, to level him up, you use Commander XP, and to promote him, you use the uncommon fleet commander credits. And it's the same with the skill tree. There you use the same material like for the others. In this case, you just need Locutus SP as well, that you get from leveling him up or from converting uncommon skill points. And you need rare skill points for him. So the basis for Locutus still is uncommon. What's the name again? Skill points that you exchange in the refinery as you do with Kirk and Spock. So the whole system is the same. You see that I haven't unlocked anything yet because I'm usually waiting for events before spending all of this, before using the refinery, before upgrading the skill tree, and that's why I'm not using Locutus yet. But after the next event I will push him a little bit and then I will exchange it. But while I will exchange him with Spock from time to time, you will see when we go through the skill tree. The first part in Combatant is increased piercing against players, and there you see already why I will switch to him on certain occasions, like incursions or territory season, because Locutus is a PvP fleet commander. The next part is one of those boxes you will probably know now that contains the best of both worlds, which increases damage while cloaked, and adaptive defenses, which increases all mitigation stats against players. And you see it's selectable. Everything in those boxes, if there's 2 or more in one of those boxes, you can only select one. You cannot use both at the time, but between these two, I will definitely select adaptive defenses then. The next one is Tritanium Memory Alloy, increases all mitigation stats while cloaked again. Then we have the Battle of Wolf 359 maneuver. You remember where Locutus was in command of the battle against the quickly assembled Starfleet fleet, where Commander Sisko lost his ship, for example. And that's an interesting one again because it increases critical damage against players. Then we have another box where you have to select one. The first one is the high power disruptor beams, which increases critical damage against players while cloaked. So look, I don't know why they put so much cloak with Locutus, because the Borg didn't cloak. That would be something for kind of a Klingon or Romulan fleet commander, if they would make Cisco a fleet commander as well. But still they do. And the other one is resistance is futile. That increases damage against players. And that's once again the one I will select later, because the cloaked ones are not that important from my point of view here if you have PvP bonuses available. As usual, they are all level connected, and they are all connected to the level of the fleet command center. What's the command center? It is, yeah, the command center. And so that will show you what you can upgrade when. And the last ones are the high yield torpedoes, where the chance of increasing number of shots against players for interceptors. Then you have cutting beam, increases critical damage against players for interceptors. And you have the collective uplink targeted, which increases kinetic weapons damage. Then we have the next section, that's Admiral. There we first have the magnetometric guided charges. That's like when the Enterprise was hiding in the nebula, and Picard was trying to buy the Federation some time, and then they used those charges to find the Enterprise. Increases damage against Federation armadas. So here we have a section which is more on armadas, but all three are in a box. You once again have to select one. And then we have the plasma torpedoes, which increase damage against Klingon armadas. And then we have Borg missiles, which increase damage against Romulan armadas, which is no surprise now. And now you will have to decide and select what armadas you usually are going for when you select one of those three. They cannot all three be active. The next step is Unimetrics training that increases damage against solo and group armadas, which is nice. Then we have another select box again with Neotech attack algorithm, which increases critical damage against Borg solo armadas, and sequential targeting systems, which increases armor piercing, shield piercing, and accuracy against Dominion solo armadas. So there you have to think about what you do more often, because you cannot switch it instantly all the time. There's cooldown time. Then we have Borg firing patterns. It increases critical damage against solo armadas in general. Then we have another select box on level 50. There's defensive protocols, which increases all mitigation against solo armadas, or the reactive nanoplating, which increases all mitigation against group armadas. So you have to decide what you do more, group armadas or solo, or what's more important for you. And then we have another single one, which is concentrated fire, which increases critical chance against solo armadas. So we have one part with combatant against players, and another one with admiral against armadas. And then we have the third one, that's mechanic. And the first one here is repair logistics, increases the ship repair speed. So we'll save you some speed ups. Then we have another select box with 3 ones in it. The first one is automated regeneration units, which increases armor for battleships. Then we have regenerative ship systems, which increases dodge for interceptors. And we have internal shield matrix for increasing shield deflection for explorers. So there you have to decide what is the ship you're using most, and that setting you would have to choose. Then we have salvage components, which increases nanoprobe rewards against Borg probe hostiles, which is nice. Then we have the Vida hangar expansion, which increases max cargo capacity on Vida. Then we have multi-regenerative security fields, which increases protected cargo. And we have decentralized design, which increases max shield health. So the mechanic one is kind of a mixed section here with different types of bonuses. And the 2 level 50s are the regeneration alcove, which increases repair cost efficiency for ships, which is nice. Thinking about that, I'm targeting the 5-star ships now, which are very expensive to repair. And the next one is they have adapted, which increases max hull health again. And so Those are the 3 different skill types you can get from Locutus. And that's why I said I will definitely put him to use after upgrading him, but I'll still wait for the next event. I don't have so much of the materials for him yet, but that's because I also don't use the refinery and don't do the exchanges in the refinery until there is an event, and they usually were regularly. If it takes too long, I'll probably will start exchanging and upgrading Locutus, because he really does have nice stuff, but I will have a little more patience, and especially in the next days I will talk about what changes on Ops level 51, because first of all, there are quite a number of new things there, even in missions, and you also need a lot of patience with upgrading. And if you think you have a lot of power steel, if you have a few trillion, you will not think about that after going to level 51, I can promise you that. But nevertheless, that's why I still have some patience for upgrading the Locutus before putting him to use. But if it takes too long, I will probably do it, as I said. But then, probably the next day, the event will come if I ever do that. Nevertheless, you will also want to know how to get Locutus. I can't show you at the moment because we don't have the events, but I can tell you about it. We have 2 different event types where you can get Locutus via the event shop. The one is plain and simple, the incursions. During incursions, you can get those incursion coins, and with those you can get Locutus shards. And that's one of the 2 ways I use to get him. And the other is what we recently have regularly again, is the Mega Cube event. Then you have this Borg event shop, and there you can exchange your event tokens there also for Locutus. There's other stuff like Borg officers and everything, so you will have to decide what you want. But I decided that I want Locutus, and so I used my coins in the incursion, and I used my event tokens in the Mega Cube event to get Locutus, and that's why I got Locutus in-game completely for free. And if you want to have him, that's your way to do it if you don't want to spend money. Of course, he's regularly in the shop, so if you are willing to pay, there are many different kinds of players in this game. So if you are one of those that have no problem with that and have a very good credit card, then go ahead. I really like Locutus and his abilities, so that's why I was targeting him. But he's available for everyone. He's definitely earlier if you buy him, but also for players that play completely free, it is available too, because I'm kind of an example that you can get him for free. And I hope I could give you a little insight into Locutus. I didn't go into the whole fleet commander mechanics. I did videos on the building and how fleet commanders work in general and the upgrading and stuff. So I will not do that in all those single fleet commander videos. But I would really like to know if you like Locutus as much as I do, especially for his PvP skills. Then if you want to tell me, then please write in the comments. And if you just have questions in general or have video requests, then please write a comment as well. And if you just want to say hi and where you're from, you know I'm always curious and happy to know where my active viewers are coming from. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.